Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to review the mass transit update that went live yesterday. I gave it a day just to break it in, learn as much as I could prior to putting out some content in regards to it. As we see here, I am currently at level 5. Um, and as you see, the deliveries have increased to giving me 2. And it looks like once I get up to 10, I will start to earn more slots with this. And something that we learned today, and I'm glad that I did wait, is you do get the ability to add, or I guess to a degree purchase, additional cargo and first class cars using your rail simoleons. I did purchase quite a few of the material cars only because I will continue to go through and use those once you start to get to these higher levels because the demand is much higher. And I'm learning that I am fortunate to have a lot of trains in the cycle loop because that'll give me the opportunity to go through and complete these different tasks. I've also learned that so far, at least at level 5, they are wanting quite a bit of your basic materials like metals, plastics, and wood. The only construction car item that I have received tasks for so far is nails, and I've probably made about 80 nails today. So that's something that you're going to want to look to continue to cycle through your commercial buildings if you can. My guess is a lot of you may not have enough cars to get this deep into it just yet. But the biggest takeaway that I have seen so far is before I would just run my trains to earn my rail simoleons, and I would really only do that when I was either bored or needed to complete tasks for the contest. Now I find myself not even really bothering to run all of the trains, but rather going through and only running the trains that I need to do to complete the tasks. Like this here, I'm going to finally be able to finish and dispatch this train, which is great. I'll go ahead and earn these rewards. And here we are. We are on our next task. You can see you can toggle back and forth down here. I'm kind of tired of going through and doing the nails tasks. And unfortunately, even though I'm tired, I want to try to replace the delivery and they want SimCash. My first one was free. I could watch an ad. But now that I'm in my second one, they want me to pay 10 SimCash. So I would rather just let the timer run out and get a new task. So if we go back, we can learn a couple things. Is one, I did utilize the Llama Line 350, and I am currently using it for both a construction car and a materials car because it does give me the highest capacity of 6 with a runtime of 25 minutes before it cycles back to the next train. So that is kind of your powerhouse train when it comes to delivering both construction and materials. So I have gone ahead and used the flying sim and added one of the cargo trains to it only because of the speed that is involved, that I can cycle through that. And I've kind of used that for a couple of them, but I also took into account because each train will give you a different amount of cargo spaces available with it. So as you can see here, I have tried to focus a lot of my cargo cars specifically on trains that have fast cycle times, just so I can kind of get through them a little faster. Now, there is one thing you cannot, if I were to pick a train, as you see this one here, well, I don't really have any available, so let me unlock the flying sim again, and I cannot say, okay, let me put some plastic here and let me go ahead and utilize my first class passengers here. I cannot do 2 tasks at once. So whatever task you have in this sidebar is the only part of the task you're going to complete at this time. Now, whether that was the intent, I'm not sure, but I cannot use these 80 first class passengers as part of completing this task because that's not the active task that I have over here to the left. As you see, only the plastic went up and it did not affect my first class passengers over here. So I have 2 plastics left to complete, and then I will have finished this task as well. So a deeper dive into looking at the trains, the Magnificent Mayor here, I went ahead and selected, I have first class passengers loaded for it. So I will go ahead and dispatch that. I'm going to switch over to a different track. And as you see, when I drug that over, it only loaded 1 car, as it's supposed to when it comes to both the regular passengers and the first class passengers. Now, if I were to load a train that has 2 different cars, it will go ahead and fill both cars for you as it should. However, I do recommend keeping an eye down there at the bottom to make sure you have completely filled all of your trains prior to dispatching. The last thing you want to do is leave a little bit there on the table. But as you see, I have gone ahead and dispatched all of my trains. You can hit the information button over here. You can always look at what trains you have loaded, and then you can swap out cars as you want. And I will once again go ahead and look for, well, we'll just do this one for right now because it is the cheapest. I could go ahead to edit, and if I wanted to add a different passenger car, as you see the infinity sign means I can put as many of those on there at one time that I want. I can hit confirm, and as you see now, there are both passenger cars on there. If I wanted to or had an additional first class car, I could attach it to this train as well, which will give you the opportunity to swap out these train cars as much as you guys want to. Or if you wanted to go back to cargo, like here, I see my materials car, I can drag it up here, and now I will be able to swap that out for a materials car and run 1 passenger train as well. So it's pretty easy to swap out each one of those train cars as necessary or what you have available in order to meet some of the requirements. So I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to see that. I will go ahead here and I will finish my plastic deliveries. And it looks like with the red dot, I may have completed. I have moved up to a new rank. And now it wants more nails and more plastic and passengers. So I will probably focus on the task here in slot number 2 next, only because I have 8 hours to do it. The problem is once you want to try to sleep, your tasks are pretty much just going to run themselves out. There's no way to pause them. There's no way to, like I said, refresh them after one time without having to pay the penalty of SimCash. But this is kind of how the new mass transit is going to work. Now, whether if I continue doing it after this week, if I see a means to an end, if this is going to be anything more than just a way to eat up supplies, which is in the favor of the game only because they want you to continue to use up your materials and all of your items so that way you spend more time on the game continuing to make more of all of that. So I kind of see the theory behind it. After 2 days, I don't mind it. It could have been a lot worse, but again, I am in a better situation than most where I have all but 1 of the trains unlocked. So for the time being, I'll probably play out the first week, and it was much like when the trains were originally released. I thought it was pretty neat to go through and do, and I'm sure after a couple weeks I will get tired of it because they're going to start to ask for more materials and items that I just don't feel like I want to give up in that capacity. However, I do assume that in the next couple weeks you are going to start seeing these types of tasks make them way over to the contest of mayors. So again, I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Hopefully this review will be a little helpful for you guys. Obviously, you have questions, put them down in the comments. As always, I appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to like and subscribe to these videos if you find them helpful, entertaining, or just background noise for something else you're doing. But for the meantime, guys, happy gaming.